Today's Monday, May 27th, and you're watching an SCW News Digest. Today, police in Stockton are investigating not one but two homicides that happened overnight. That first fatal shooting was reported around 7:30 Sunday night. Police arrived at the Polo Run Apartments on the 8100 block of Palisades Drive to find an adult male who had been shot. Medics pronounced the victim deceased at the scene. Later that evening, around 9:30, police were called out to the 600 block of East Oak Street near Stanislaus Street. There, they found 4 gunshot wound victims. Those victims included a 16-year-old, a 17-year-old, an 18-year-old, and a 35-year-old. 3 of those victims were taken to local hospitals, with the youngest victim, the 16-year-old, being pronounced deceased at the scene. 2 of the other victims were listed in critical condition at a local hospital. Also last night, police were busy investigating 3 other shooting scenes where people or items were shot. Only one of the cases, someone was actually hit by bullets, only suffering minor wounds. If you have any information on any of these crimes, you're asked to call to the Stockton Police Department or Crime Stoppers. Well, in spite of maximum enforcement for the Memorial Day weekend, Stockton officers with the California Highway Patrol were still working the scene of a fatal DUI collision. Around 4 a.m. Sunday morning, officers report that a 19-year-old was driving a car with 2 unrestrained passengers along State Route 12 east of McCollum River Bridge. The driver allowed the vehicle to leave the roadway and travel onto the shoulder where it hit a lamppost. One of those passengers died while the other was transported to an area hospital. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back. Today, some Stockton veterans and residents took a break from the typical barbecues and parties on Memorial Day to revisit the meaning behind the day. At Stockton's Memorial Civic Auditorium, close to 50 people gathered for an hour to listen to speeches and to a choir, all aimed at remembering the lives lost when America went off to war. Bagpipes were present, volunteers laid wreaths, public officials made speeches, and a table stood towards the center of the auditorium representing the many lives lost while the members of the U.S. Armed Forces were fighting for our country. Thank you for watching this SCW News Digest. I'll see you back here tomorrow with more news from Stockton.